Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we will explore the JS7 daily plan. We'll see what the daily plan is, how orders are created from schedule, and how daily plan can be created automatically or manually. By the end of this video, you will understand how JS7 manages future orders and how users can control them from Job Cockpit. Let's begin with a simple question. What is a daily plan in JS7? Daily plan holds orders that are scheduled for future execution. Typically, orders are created several days ahead, for example, for the next week. These orders are later submitted to controller and agent and are executed independently from Job Cockpit. You can think of a daily plan as a place where future orders are prepared before execution. But where do the orders in the daily plan come from? They are generated from existing schedule. A schedule defines the runtime specification of the workflow, and the daily plan uses this information to generate order. There are two possible runtime specification with a single start, one start time that results in one order. With a cyclic start, that is multiple start times results in multiple orders, one order for each interval. Once generated, orders are placed in the daily plan where they are prepared for future execution. There are two ways to create these orders in the daily plan. The first is automatic creation using daily plan service. The service plans orders and optionally submit them without user intervention. Second option is manual creation of daily plan view. User can create daily plan for selected dates and decide when orders should be submitted. So far we have seen the daily plan, what daily plan is, where orders come from and how they are created. Now let's switch to daily plan view in Job Cockpit and see how we can work with these orders in practice. For that, we have to log in into Job Cockpit. Here I am using user account root and password root. Let's navigate to Daily Plan tab to open Daily Plan view. In the upper left corner, we see the title Daily Plan. Below the title, the Daily Plan view is organized into three tabs: Daily Plan, Projection, and Dependencies. In this video, we will focus on Daily Plan tab. Next to Daily Plan tab, there is an eye icon, that is Context Help. It provides detailed information and can guide you to the product knowledge base if you want to explore about this feature further. Let's quickly close this window and see the daily plan view. The daily plan view is divided into three sections: the calendar panel on the left, the tag panel in the center, and detailed panel on the right. Let's look at each panel. The calendar panel allows navigation to a specific date to display the corresponding daily plan. Using the navigation arrow, a user can move between months and select a date. Highlighted dates indicate dates for which daily plan exists. For example, let's click on any date. As soon as we select the date, the detailed panel updates and shows the order planned for that day. Using the arrow above the calendar, we can move to previous or upcoming month and select a different date. Highlighted date indicates for which daily plan already exists. If you want to create a daily plan for a single day, we simply select a desired date and click Create Daily Plan. A pop-up window appears. Configure according to your choice and click Submit. To create or manage a daily plan for multiple days, we can select the date and hold down the control key and then click another date. This allows us to select a date range. We can then click Create Daily Plan. Configure this window according to your choice and then click Submit. Similarly, we can perform a deletion of daily plan for multiple dates. Further down, the list of submissions shows the point in time when orders were created for the selected date. A date can have multiple submissions if the daily plan was created, providing the history of planning activities for that date. Moving to the middle section, we have Tags panel. Tags panel allows users to filter visible workflow and orders using workflow tags and order tags. This is particularly useful when working with large number of workflows and orders, helping user narrow down the information displayed in the daily plan and focus on specific group of orders. For example, let's select any tag, for example daily plan. The detail panel is updated and display only the orders belonging to the workflow associated with this tag. All the workflows and their orders are temporarily hidden, making it easier to focus on the relevant set of orders. Similarly, we can switch to order tags and select a specific tag to narrow down the list even furthermore. Now, let's move to the largest section on the right, the detailed panel. This panel displays all the orders that are currently available for the date selected in the calendar panel. For example, if we click a date 17 June, the detailed panel immediately shows all the orders planned for that day. Here we have grouping of orders. At the top, we can organize the information in different ways. Group by order displays individual orders. Group by schedule group orders that originate from the same schedule. Group by workflow group orders belonging to the same workflow. Let's switch between these options and see how the view changes. This allows us to analyze orders from different perspectives depending on whether we are interested in specific order, schedule or workflow. So in detailed panel, let's understand each column and row. Each row represents an order and provide additional information. Schedule shows the schedule from which order was generated. Workflow indicates the workflow that will be executed. Status shows the current order state. Planned start shows the current order state. Expected N is calculated based on previous execution of the same workflow. Expected duration represents the average execution time derived from historical run. Ahead to create daily plan manually. Let's create a daily plan for single date and click any date and then hit Create Daily Plan option. A pop-up window opens. Let's take a closer look at the available option. First, we can choose whether order should be created from all released schedules or only from the selected set of schedules and workflow. From here, we can select the desired schedule for which we want to create the order. In this example, we will continue with all selected. Then we have override. If a daily plan already exists for the selected date, the override option determines whether existing orders should be replaced. Then is submit to controller option. This specify whether order should be sent immediately to the controller and agent. If this option is not selected, order remains in the daily plan and can be submitted later. Finally, the include order not planned automatically option allows us to include orders from the released schedule that are not configured for automated planning. Once the desired options have been configured, we click Submit to create daily plan. And you can see our daily plan for that day is created and all the orders are in the planned state as of now. Creating a daily plan includes two steps. Plan orders. In the first step, daily plan reads the selected schedule and create orders according to their runtime specification. These orders are added to the daily plan with the planned state and become visible in the detailed panel for the selected date. Submit orders. In the second step, orders can be submitted to their corresponding controllers and agent. User can choose to submit orders immediately during daily plan creation, or they can postpone this action and submit the order later from daily plan view. If daily plan already exists for the selected date, user can decide whether existing order should be considered or overwritten. In this way, daily plan provides full control over when the orders are created and when they are submitted for execution. Now that we have created orders and they're visible in the detailed panel, we can have operations on them. But before performing operations on order, let's first understand different states an order can have in the daily plan. An order can be of three states. Planned, meaning the order exists in the daily plan but has not yet been submitted to controller and agent. Then we have submitted. Submitted orders meaning the orders have been forwarded to controller and agent. Then we have finished orders, meaning execution has completed. Further details about successful or failed execution can be viewed in the order history. Now coming to operation, most operations are available either from action menu of an individual order or as a bulk operation when multiple orders are selected. The operation available depend on current state of the order. Now that you see in this state, the orders are in planned state. In this case, we can open the action menu and select submit order. This operation is available for orders in the planned state and forwards the order to the corresponding controller and agent for execution. We can also perform bulk operation and from the top tab we can click submit orders. Now suppose the planned execution is no longer required. Instead of submitting the order, we can select remove order from action menu. This removes the order from the daily plan and the daily plan service will not create it automatically. Similarly, we can do it for mm, bulk removal. Now let's consider another situation and move to another date. Here orders are in submitted state. But we can decide that it should not run after all. In that case, we can select cancel orders from the action menu. This operation is available for orders in submitted state. The order is revoked from controller and moved back to the planned state. We can also perform a bulk operation to cancel the order and to check it if the order was cancelled and moved to planned state. We can do it from advanced filter, click the date for which we have performed the cancellation and stay in state select planned and there you go, we have one order in a planned state. Moving back, it's also visible from here. Now let's look at another operation, let run order. Suppose an order has already been submitted. What if we don't want to wait for its scheduled start time and need it to run immediately? In that case, we can open Action menu and select Let Run. Alternatively, you can select the order and from the upper tab, Let Run order, you can perform the operation. This operation is available for one-time orders in the submitted state. For example, the order might be scheduled to start at 11:45, but but we decided to execute it right away. We can do it just by selecting the order or multiple orders and hitting a Let Run Order option. By selecting Let Run Order, the order starts immediately. Notice that the only start time changes. Order will still belongs to its original daily plan date. This is particularly important when working with notice boards because notice boards are associated with daily plan date. What if several orders should start immediately? Instead of triggering them one by one, we can select multiple orders and apply bulk let orders operation. This starts all selected submitted one-time orders immediately, making it convenient when multiple order requires immediate execution. This is useful when testing workflows or we want immediate execution or several submitted orders should be started at once. There is another operation called copy. Suppose we already have orders for one day and want similar orders for another date. Instead of creating the daily plan again, we can simply copy existing orders. For that, first we have to select the daily plan date from which order should be copied. Let's take 23 July as an example. Next, switch to bulk orders. We can either select individual orders or use or select all of them. In this example, I'm selecting all and selecting all the orders to be copied and click on copy. This opens a copy order dialog. At the top, a message indicates how many orders are selected and will be modified. The first option is ignore admission times. This option allows jobs to start independently of configured admission time. Normally, orders might have to wait for the next available time slot, but this option, when enabled, jobs can start regardless of such a restriction. Then we have Keep Daily Plan Assignment. When this option is selected, calendar-based dependencies from notice board continue to be resolved using the original daily plan date. Then we have Start Time. Under this, we have several options. Now starts the copied order immediately. Specific date allows us to specify an exact date and time for the copied orders. With relative to current time, the start time of the copied order is calculated using an offset from the current time. For example, if we specify an offset of 1 hour, the copied order will start 1 hour from now. Relative to start time, the copied orders retain the same time difference relative to their original start time. This is useful when shifting a set of orders to another date while preserving their original schedule. Let's continue with specific date and select 30th of July as the date to copy our orders. Choose the appropriate time zone and finally click Submit to create the copied orders with selected setting. Now in the calendar panel, select 30th July and you can see the orders have been copied. Some of them are in the planned state, but they will be in some time become in submitted state. So far, we have looked at some basic operations that can be performed on orders. But what if an order should execute at a different time? In that case, we can use modify start time. Let's open the action menu and select modify start time. The operation is available for individual orders, and we can also select multiple orders and perform it as a bulk operation. We can modify the start time. The existing order is dropped and a new order with new order ID is created. The pop-up provides several options. If we see now, the order starts immediately. When we select specific date, we can select specific date and choose the new date and time here. The order will be moved to corresponding daily plan date. Relative to current time, sometimes we simply want to delay the order by certain amount of time. For example, we may want to start it 2 hours from now. In that case, we can select relative to current time and specify the desired period. Relative to start time. Another option is this one. Instead of calculating from the current time, the offset is applied relative to order's original start time. For example, an order scheduled for 10 can easily be postponed by another hour or two. You can select or give the input of 2 hours like this from this window and finally click submit. Sometimes the execution time is fine, but we want to change how workflow execute. For example, we may want to provide different variable values or restart execution from a particular point in the workflow. In such cases, we can open Action menu and select Modify Parameterization. The dialog allows us to specify block position, start position, end position before instruction, and values for any required variables. Let us understand these options using our sample workflow test. Let's quickly close this window and navigate to Configuration tab and then our workflow. Let's select the test workflow. The workflow starts with job 1 inside try catch block. After the catch instruction, the workflow fork into two parallel branches. Branch 1 execute job 3, branch 2 execute job 2. After both branches have completed, they are synchronized and the execution continues with job 4. Suppose job 1 completed successfully, but one of the branches failed. Instead of executing the whole workflow again, we can modify the order and specify a suitable start position. For example, if only job 2 should be executed again, we can set start position as job 2. Similarly, we could start job 3 or even continue directly with job 4. Now let's look at block position. Unlike start position, which start with a specific instruction, block position start execution from beginning of the block. For example, we can select the try block to re-execute the complete try catch section containing job 1. Or we can select the fork block to re-execute both the branches job 3 and job 2 together. Finally, end position allows us to stop execution at a particular point instead of running the entire workflow. This operation is useful when restarting after failure or changing workflow variables, executing complete blocks such as try catch or fork, modifying Start and end position, executing only a selected part of the workflow. Similar to modifying the start time, this operation recreates the order and assign a new order ID. Now, let's look at another operation that can be useful when multiple orders are competing for same resource lock. Suppose several orders are waiting to enter a section of the workflow that uses a resource lock, and only limited number of orders can run in parallel. In such a situation, priority of an order determines its position in the waiting queue. To change this, open Action menu for the order and select Modify Priority. A dialog is displayed where you can assign priority value. Priority values can be negative, 0 or positive integers. A higher value means higher precedence. Lower value means lower precedence. This can be useful in various conditions like several workflow starts simultaneously and some orders should be picked first. Temporarily, prioritization is required. In this video, we have explored JS7 daily plan and seen how orders can be managed and modified. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.